Okay, we're good, because there's only one of us. The recording will start soon. What do you mean? No, also transcribe. I don't need
One
you
for
to
you.
transcribe.
Thank you.
One for him,
Appreciate that.
Awesome sauce.
because I just worked out.
Sorry, we'll drink it.
I'll put it, I know, I'll put it in the middle, right there.
Be like back in the day. I remember my ex-brother-in-law was like, they had a large family.
Mhm.
And so everybody rushed eating the first course. Because first one done, it's seconds.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like, hold on, the parents were like, it was just
Go.
eat. And that way you could slow down. And if you get seconds, you could just slow down and enjoy it then. They had like scars where I got stabbed with a fork going after food one time, and somebody stabbed them and pulled back and they got the left. Like, geez,
Wow,
Louise.
that's brutal.
Mhm.
Can't, my family's very small. We never had that problem.
Wow.
Mm.
Probably kick your sister's ass anyway.
Well, somebody did dump molten gravy on her head one Thanksgiving. She was in her high chair
Why did you
in
do
the
that?
kitchen. It wasn't me. We were sitting at the
Oh.
kids' table and somebody was going through the kitchen with a gravy
Oh,
boat
it
and
was
it got
accident.
dumped. Yeah, it got dumped on her head. And oh my
It
God.
sounded like it was intentional.
No,
Sounds pretty intentional.
Poor kid. She didn't eat gravy literally for several years.
Was there all the time biscuits and gravy? Nothing?
Nope.
Or up north, gravy fries?
Gross.
Oh, what do you mean gross?
No.
Those are so good.
No.
Brown gravy in your
No,
french fries?
No, God.
Oh, yes.
Shit.
Yes. So good.
Isn't that like poutine in Canada?
Yeah, but poutine is a lot more loaded up with the fries than just brown gravy.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, there's all sorts of stuff in there. Okay.
So we'll actually hit the recording button in just a minute after somebody comes in here with their damn meal.
Mhm.
Are you back on the vegan train again? Or are you just enjoying
Sort
it
of, but
all?
worse.
Dang, girl. A little hungry?
Yes.
That is amazing.
It's because I don't get to eat meat. Oh, I had some of the best food this weekend.
Oh, up in
We went to a
Nashville.
Peruvian restaurant.
Oh, Peruvian food is good.
So good.
Yeah.
So good.
Mhm.
And then we went to another place for in Franklin, like the 55 or somewhere.
Mhm.
Guacamole was out of this world, best chips.
Mm.
And then Linda had brisket tacos.
Oh, I love this.
To die for. And I had this thing called, what was it? The Hot Mess or something. And it was this shredded barbecue chicken on Texas toast that had a little bit of coleslaw and then sweet and spicy pickles
Ooh.
in it. And it was spicier than you thought. Wait a second.
My hair, the meat sweat,
My head
the meat
sweat.
sweats.
It's so good. And the French fries were like,
No, you were not supposed to touch that. Can you tell? Taryn's gonna kill you with
thanks
his
for asking
eyeball.
permission. From you. Just do whatever you want, Megan. Go ahead. Go.
Can we share that watermelon? Can I like just leave it?
Careful, it's gonna come out of her mouth. While you're walking.
No, out of her nose.
That was like a sharing watermelon to me.
Which half?
Would you like them? Her family of six.
So get those. Oh. You all right? Do we need to do the Heimlich or anything? No? Are we good? We got you off
Well,
camera. Are you?
Yeah, because my head was like really like here. Eating.
Would you like a microphone or headphones?
Headphones, please.
Headphones? Okay. There's nobody else except the three of us in here actually talking, but she'd be like, can you turn the volume down? She'll text me.
And then he'll text me
One day
back
she
at
was
9
in here,
o'clock
she
at night.
texted me while she was sitting there, could you turn the volume?
Yeah.
down?" And it felt like 2 hours later. in the headphones.
He's like, yes, I can do that.
That is such your
I'm
generation.
sorry, I was focused on our guests
Instead of going,
and not your needs.
she's under the corner. You need
No,
a
I
drink.
pay attention. Oh my God.
So he texts just fine when he needs a drink.
Put them on, let me adjust this so we can get the rest of the show started. And is that good?
I can't hear anything.
That better?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, is this mine?
Yeah.
So I can do it.
Go for it.
face when I
You
touch
know.
it.
Sharon's afraid.
Go for it.
Very
Yes, you can
afraid.
adjust up and down the way you need to. Oh
Okay.
my gosh.
Oh my God, just don't touch my, I'm holding my head off.
AAM, all about Megan.
Oh.
Is it good?
Yeah, that's really good.
Good. I lost count on the gin, so I was hoping it wasn't too
Oh,
strong.
boy.
Mm. Thank you for the cocktails. Can I hit this button? Y'all ready?
Go.
Folks, welcome to Toasting the Business,
Yeah.
home of the pound apple of the world.
14,000 parts per
I
million
know.
on Saturday.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Disgusting.
And the mold spores are up and the
Yes,
grass is
I
up.
know,
And it's
it's
like there's so
all-
much. And it's hot as,
89
Jeez.
degrees
Mhm,
tomorrow. I
mhm.
mean, what the hell is that?
look on the horizon now come Sunday and Monday.
65. I know. It's great. I know. That's just a little too much for everybody's system to just cope with right now.
Well, I hope,
Oh.
let's put it this way, I hope the folks who are going through all those violent storms
Oh
and
my
the
gosh, I
tornadoes
know.
are okay.
Yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah. We had our own heads up here on Monday
um,
at lunch. I mean, it was like came out of nowhere. And next thing I know, I grabbed my computer and run to the basement. It was nuts.
people were telling me, because I wasn't here, I was elsewhere, but people were saying the same thing, like we have power, we just got past the watch and the warning and ooh,
Yeah, it was crazy.
Where is it again? In Virginia?
where?
Right now, the storms are.
Up in like Tennessee and
Tennessee was-
Kentucky.
Yeah, Memphis is
and-
kind of right.
Yeah,
It's all angled and going
yeah.
that way.
It's not supposed to affect us. Thank God.
You know, although Sunday may be rain, but anyway,
Yeah,
I
it doesn't
have a confession to make today.
Mhm.
So as you know, I have said before, I do not like cocktails with cucumber. that are
Mhm.
made-
Dog, you're a traitor.
Let me finish. So last night,
Hear me now, listen to me later.
hear me now, listen to me later. I am going to pump you up. But I was wanting something different. I'm like, you know what? I have some fresh Victor in there,
Yeah.
cucumber, lime.
hmm
Didn't think I was going to have it. I'm like, I think I'm going to try it.
Mhm.
Put it in a glass with a little gin.
Yeah.
Freaking delicious. And I will tell you why. Because the cucumber was not overpowering. It was subtle,
Okay.
refreshing.
Yeah.
There was enough lime in there to give it a little pop and burst of flavor. Delish. So
Okay. About an hour later, were you having the cucumber burps?
no,
Wow. Okay.
you know how to get rid of the burps.
I don't know how.
So one, you can buy burpless cucumbers.
I've heard that.
It's a
Yeah.
thing. Two,
Yeah.
it's a real thing.
Really?
Yes.
It's usually the English cucumbers, I think.
English. But what you do is when you cut the end off,
Mm.
the nub, you cut like however much. Hold the cucumber upside down so the exposed end is facing downward. And you rub it
Mm.
on there, on the, I know.
Keep a straight face.
Rewind that really quick. Play back on the.
So, you know, as it's coming out of my mouth, I'm like, yeah, I'm saying it, and it's just not stopping.
All right, so you drain the cucumber
So
over.
basically, you take the end that you cut off,
Yeah.
and then you swirl it on the bottom part of the exposed part, and you'll see this white foam come out of it,
Oh,
and it
really?
extracts all the
The
chemical,
burpy stuff.
the burpy stuff out of the skin,
Oh,
and you can
wow.
have burps.
I still don't like them. I'm sorry. But I'm glad you found, found.
It was really good, and I was adamant
Yeah, I know.
about
Yeah,
Same way I was a long time ago about sours when we had Hop City as our sponsor.
that's right. And you
Craig
like that.
converted me
Yes.
with a couple, not all of them, but a couple. So
hmm
I can, middle-aged dog can change his ways, is what I'm saying.
Okay, congratulations.
Well, now that we've talked about Fresh Victor and threw in a little snippet from our previous sponsor, Hop City, why don't we listen to our actual sponsors for a moment, shall
Sounds
we?
good.
And we are back. I like our sponsors.
Yeah, they were great.
I
They're
know.
great people.
They are dynamite, and one of what makes it best cocktails when she stops by the studio.
Mhm.
Says hello to us.
Yes, yeah.
Thank you, Megan,
Yes, thank you.
for our delicious beverages. But that's not why we're here today.
Right.
So you'll notice if you're watching the video and have watched videos before that we've had Tommy Ward on a couple times as a guest and as a fill-in for you.
Yes,
He is
thank you,
second.
Tommy. Thank
And he
you.
does a great job as a co-host. But Tommy is back again as a guest today to talk about what, Tommy? I'm gonna let you, I'm not stealing your thunder, bud.
I have no media training about this, so this could be terrible. I've never talked about this in public before. This is kind of crazy.
Guess what?
Oh, guess what? You're going in. You're going in.
Let's
know.
kick it. Boom, boom, boom.
It's pretty exciting. I have started a new company called Constellation Concerts.
What?
It's called Constellation Concerts.
What is it?
It's an immersive concert series. I designed a specialty lighting system. You guys ever been to a planetarium before?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yes, love planetariums.
Sober or
Well,
not?
On a date?
No,
Or
I've
not?
never gone on a date.
No, you haven't? Okay.
Planetarium? Why?
Planetarium. Is that what you just said?
Planetarium.
Isn't that what? Okay.
I would go on a date to a planetarium. I would take Linda, yeah.
Because it's romantic.
it's pretty romantic.
Okay.
All right, go on, Tom.
Oh, shit, I missed out on a lot. I should have done that in the past.
Yeah.
So I designed a specialty lighting system that creates a beautiful, I wish we had a photo that we could show, of like a universal galactic star field in specialty high-end venues. And we're doing themed genre shows under the stars, basically.
Shows, what kind of shows? Like cabaret,
Like the
burlesque,
tributes to famous artists or genre-based performances like
musical.
Motown. Yeah, rock,
Musical
bass.
shows.
Ah,
Exactly.
free bird. Okay, that probably isn't a good, connect type combination, but
You and 3 other people would be there.
I actually just got the goosebumps listening to him talk about it. It sounds really
So wait a
nice.
second. This is, let me get this straight. So go to an event, music event, and hit the galaxies and constellations
Yeah.
behind you and around you. That's pretty damn cool.
Yep, it's a 360-degree star field, and we do them in very high-end venues, museums, history centers, and it just looks beautiful. And it's just a great ambiance for live music.
That sounds nice. That sounds really nice.
What was the antithesis behind this? How did you, I mean, there's something else out there
Yeah,
right now.
there is.
And I think you actually were a performer for that other type of concert
Is
series.
it going to be like Voldemort, where we don't exactly say the
No, we can say it. We can, you can say it. He whose name shall not be spoken.
It's actually, I'll talk about that in a second, but it's actually much deeper than that. Have you guys ever been to Maui?
No.
And Honolulu, Oahu,
Yeah,
but not Maui.
Maui is one of my favorite places to visit for one very specific reason, and that's Haleakala, which is a volcano on Maui that is actually home to some of the best observatories in the world.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So, like, if you heard the news story a couple months ago about that object that came in from another galaxy, the first thing that's ever entered our galaxy, it's called Oumuamua. They discovered that at the observatory in Maui, and because it's on an island in the middle of the ocean, there's no light pollution anywhere.
Right. Yeah.
And so you're above the clouds, and it's crazy. You can go there to visit and watch the sunset or the sunrise. It's a popular.
God.
It's a
tourist
bucket
attraction.
list item.
It's
You-
incredible.
Yeah.
So you'll start and you'll be on Maui for, tropical temperatures,
Mhm.
70s, 80s. You have to take a coat.
It gets that
You
It's
cold.
really
actually go
cold.
through the clouds, like you
Really?
go through that
Wow.
part of, you're
Wow.
that high up.
Yeah.
And by the time you get up there, you're like,
It's cold up there.
it's wheezing.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
kind of what it looks
Oh,
like.
wow. That's beautiful.
So you're like,
Holy mackerel.
you're literally above the clouds. So the observatory, actually, right there, you can see it,
Yeah.
sort of off to the right or left there, and it's insane. Like, the photo doesn't do it justice, but you're looking at the sun, and it's actually, it's bright, but you can still look at it, and so you watch it like fall into the horizon. You can literally watch it like second by second. You can see it like dip,
Neat.
and it just like melts into the horizon. It's incredible.
Wow.
But because it's so dark, and if you go to the sunset which is my preference,
Mhm.
it literally is so pitch black. Like as soon as it sets, you can't see like 5 feet in front
Are
of you.
you serious? I don't know that
It's
I've
crazy.
ever been, have I ever been, maybe in Iceland, it was that dark.
Yeah.
But that's it. That's the only place I've ever been that's been that
Yeah.
dark. Yeah.
It's surreal. So I went in 2022 with my girlfriend Megan, and it was like just after the pandemic.
Mhm.
And it was kind of like, well, what are we going to do? Because that stopped all music entertainment industry.
Yeah. Yeah.
And for some reason, that one particular night, this is actually true because I had thought back about it.
So which part wasn't true? That you have a girlfriend? Megan? What, are we ferreting this out? Are we supposed to guess, or it's all true?
It's all true.
Okay.
So that for whatever reason that night it went dark and it's crazy. Like the stars are ridiculous. I'm going to show you more photo because it really needs photos to see. I took this photo with my camera.
Oh, wow. Oh, you can see the stars.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my
And
gosh. That's
really
beautiful.
that doesn't really do it justice at all.
Mhm.
But like you can see it there just a little bit, kind
The
of
Milky Way.
Milky Way.
Yeah.
And so it's so bright and there's so many stars and you can see everything. There's no clouds, no light. It's incredible. And for whatever reason that night, it's just like all these things converged in my mind that said this would be so cool if there was like music with this.
Yeah.
And like how could we combine that to do a show with stars? And I've always been very interested in the technical side of the entertainment industry.
Mhm.
I love the production side, and so I just sort of instantly thought of ways to make that happen. And so
Okay.
I thought it would be a super cool concert series.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I guess that's it. Thanks for the show.
No, I'm like, I got questions. So have you scheduled the first events?
Yeah, the first show is in Atlanta on
Right
May
on.
23rd at the
Okay.
Atlanta History Center.
Okay. Okay.
May 23rd.
May 23rd, Atlanta History Center.
gotta
Which
go.
one?
There's two shows, a 6:30 and a 9:15.
I'm gonna have to go to the 6:30 because I'm like, go to bed early, like, by 10.
Well, you know,
Maybe I'll make it a late night tonight, that night, but that sounds fantastic.
Yeah, thanks. It's actually interesting. The 9:15 show is selling better than the 6:30 for whatever reason.
yeah,
So it's
because
interesting.
people want to go to dinner.
I suppose it's the dinner. Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Go to Atlanta. For those of us that live down here,
Yeah,
40 minutes away.
right, yeah.
It's like, if I'm going to Atlanta, I'm going to get the full experience. And is it on a Friday? Is that a Friday or Saturday?
The Friday Memorial Day weekend.
Okay,
Boom. Perfect.
Goody.
That's it.
yeah, that's it.
I like it. But yeah, 6:15. And that means late dinner. How long are the shows?
Shows are 90 minutes.
90 minutes.
Nice, nice.
And I'm going to give something away too that I was going to wait till the first show, but I'm very excited about because I've been spending a lot of time on it. But when you walk in the room, it's actually not the stars as you would expect it immediately as you walk in. But I wanted to recreate that sunset feeling.
Mm.
And so there's an hour before the show starts, and I've timed it. We've timed it for the sunset and the lights around the room to dim at precisely the exact rate of a sunrise.
Oh my
or
gosh,
sunset.
I love it. I love it.
So
That's so cool. That's a date night. That's really cool. Yeah.
really excited.
What genre of music will it be for Atlanta?
The first show is going to be the music of Sinatra,
Nice.
the live orchestra.
Oh, I bet I can guess who the entertainer is.
Who?
Singing Sinatra.
Who is it?
I knew a guy,
You knew a guy.
It's your alter ego?
I suppose.
So you're doing the show.
Uh-huh.
Dynamite. Dynamite. I love it.
I thought that was I guess the marketing answer is that's the easiest way to make it happen, but I really wanted to do it.
Well, that's great. I mean, it's your debut, right? It's the debut of the concept. So why the heck not?
I think it's going to be really cool.
Yeah, it sounds like it. So I used to work in the commercial lighting industry, which kind of intersects with theatrical lighting. I'm dying to know, how did you come up with the lighting system for this? Is it projected? Is it embedded? Like what are you doing?
It's a little complicated.
Mhm.
There's a bunch of different light sources. If you were to go to a production company and
Mhm.
say, I want to do this,
Yeah.
they would tell you that you need to get the highest of high-end 3D projectors and map the whole room, basically.
Wow.
And it's really prohibitively expensive to do that.
Mhm.
And obviously it's cool. Have you guys been to the Sphere in Vegas before?
No, have not, but I have to go to Vegas in June and I might do a field trip over there.
It's
But yeah,
amazing.
I've heard.
Saw YouTube at the Spirit.
Yeah, that's right, you did. And I was jealous that day.
There's a phrase going through my mind right now, but I won't say it.
What's that? Okay, so it's prohibitively expensive.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I figured out a way to use both lasers
Hmm.
and very special holographic projection technology that is projected with LED lights, but they're basically these little slide discs that are machined from glass, and they
Oh.
have refractive qualities in the back that prevent the light from going anywhere but through the little tiny stars that are machined
Oh, okay.
on the disc. And then it has projector optics after that that sort of makes it go up on the wall. But
So cool.
That is so cool.
because it's not like a projector, like if you ever turn on a projector and you see like the box
Mhm.
around the projector, this doesn't have that because the light just sort of refracts everywhere but the light.
Okay, okay.
And
That's what you sent me from.
yeah, so it's like
Yeah,
it's
that's
pure
neat.
black. It's like if you see contrast ratios on projectors, this is infinite contrast. It's just black.
Just black, okay.
So it's truly like the pictures don't do it justice. Like when you're really standing there with all of it, it's quite surreal.
Yeah, I can't wait to see it. It's gonna be amazing.
Give people
Really exciting.
teasers.
So
Yeah.
for, for blocking and tackling, how long for other business owners out there that are like, oh my God, I'm working on my own business and this is just gonna take me forever. Give us a ballpark idea of how long it took you to get to this point where you actually have the technology and you found a venue.
Well, first he started with bed sheets, and he had people with flashlights behind it, and he pulled pinholes.
In your world, that would happen.
So from idea to today, I think it's been roughly 12 months. 6 to
Wow.
12 months.
That's fast. That's
Yeah.
fast. Good.
Because I had that idea back in 2022, but just sort of stored it away. And then thought this would be a really cool idea to do. So like in July of last year, I really thought, how can I make this happen?
Right. Right.
So did all the research for the projectors and stuff, and then thought about venues and developed a marketing plan.
Mhm.
Did all the housekeeping things, filing, organization, and everything.
Right.
What made it come back around, though? Because, a lot of folks have ideas. Some people act immediately.
Right.
Boom. And then others, you hear about it, they kind of put it on the shelf,
Mhm.
and then they kind of go back and forth. It's like the cool Lua folks. She had
Yes,
that,
yeah.
and it was like, they pull it from time to time, and they were waiting they're like, this is going to be our early retirement, whatever. And then she got laid off
Yeah.
sooner. It's like, oh, well, we're going to do this now.
Yeah.
And others, but what made did you keep going back to it and kind of refining it and putting it away for a little bit?
The answer is yes and no, and it's sort of what you mentioned earlier, which is that I'm a performer first and foremost, and I love to do shows, and I'm always interested in what other people are doing. And I had the opportunity to perform at a candlelight show. Have you heard of those candlelight shows before?
I went to one during the pandemic when Atlanta was living their best life, and it was outside, and it was at a train station somewhere up in a retired train station somewhere up in Atlanta, and I thought I'd died and gone to heaven. It was the greatest thing.
It's so cool.
Yeah.
I was blown away when I performed for them, and it was very cool. And they've developed something amazing. Obviously, they're so successful.
Right.
And I love so many of the things that they're passionate about. And I saw the things that they have mastered. And I thought, how can I apply those ideas to this? And so I thought that would be a really smart place to start. But I did that show, and it was sort of the light switch that brought everything together.
Yeah.
Did you think you were building a better mousetrap or just a different mousetrap?
I think it's different. And a lot of people that I've talked to about this have said, oh, well, this is sort of competitive, or you're just taking their idea, but it really is totally different. Their model is much more focused on the experience of the candles, right? It's gorgeous, it's spectacular. But as a performer first, I'm much more passionate about the music and the content of the shows.
Can't skip it.
And so I feel that this is more, because Candlelight doesn't really do, for example, celebrity acts or anything, or like big touring artists bands. They're very focused on like genre shows, like the music of Adele or music of.
Yes, yeah, I've noticed that.
So this could be a thing that I see as hosting artists, you know, for who they are and giving a new experience for their fans in this format. It's sort of like a venue in a lot of ways.
Okay, okay.
So,
I'm all for that.
Yeah, venue. And there are many venues around Atlanta. I mean, you probably had your pick and choose of, you know, where to go to ask to sign a contract.
So,
at.
yeah.
I know the answer to the thing, so I'm gonna kind of lead into this
Yeah.
because I had a question when Tommy first told me about this. And I was like, okay, I thought planetarium all the way, go to the planetarium
Yeah.
and like everything's up on the ceiling,
Mhm.
gotta have chairs that are leaning back. And I was
Right.
like, there's gonna be, you know, we want to have food and beverage for folks, at least cocktails and stuff. And I'm like, well, I'm sitting back, trying to
Right,
drink my
drink.
cocktail, watching the ceiling, but there's entertainment. How do I focus on the entertainer?
Mhm.
And then he explained it in a little more detail
Mhm.
as to it's not really, you're not reclining backwards.
Right.
This is the backdrop and
It's the atmosphere. It's
Okay.
it's very much the way I've been describing it lately is sort of like an art installation with music, because
Okay.
it's visually appealing and it's beautiful. And the venues that we need and choose are generally very minimalistic for the sake of not affecting the projections.
Right, right.
So if you have like a big expansive ceiling, and very high ceilings are good for this, and walls, you can focus on a bunch of things at once. So that's why I really say that there's truly not a bad seat in the house, because yes, it's about the music and the performers are highlighted, and that's the whole experience. It's a
Right.
show first and foremost. But from wherever you're sitting, there's something interesting to look at.
Okay.
So
what's the size of the audience?
it depends on the venue, but on the low end, it's 200 a show, and on the high end, it's 350.
Okay. That's not bad.
That's a quaint venue.
Yeah.
Yeah, there can't be a bad seat in the house with that.
Yeah,
Well, unless you're stuck behind somebody wearing a 10-gallon hat. And,
Just big hair.
or big hair.
Yeah.
So you maybe if you're performing up in the Northeast in certain parts where they talk different ways, you may want to put a limitation on it. Like, listen, your hair can't be over this many inches, right? So, no,
God.
no.
so
You
after
got
the
something to say, Megan? No, because your mouth is full of watermelon. Anyway, so nice of you to join us
It
and,
could be
you
full
know,
of
want
washboards
to
and watermelon.
engage in the conversation with all these friends of ours who is celebrating a new thing. Give me microphones. I will.
Okay.
I will. I'll give you,
All right.
when you're ready to ask a question, just text me. I'll get to it in 2 hours. I'm sorry, Lenny, you were gonna ask the next
I don't even
question. before that.
know. I don't even know. 200 to 300
200, 300 people.
people.
That's
That's manageable.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you, oh, okay, I know what I was gonna ask. Are you just going to focus the concerts here in the Atlanta area? Are you looking at other venues across the state or across the Southeast? What's your goal?
The first phase is to expand regionally. So the
Mhm.
Southeast US is kind of where we're focused, with Atlanta serving as a hub.
Right.
And, you know, in June, the second show is in Memphis, for example,
when's
Okay.
that show?
June 28th.
Oh shit, I want to go. I want barbecue.
Shit, I want to go.
Hell yeah.
Oh, barbecue.
Barbecue, little gambling, and Constellation Concert. Yeah, I'm freaking on it.
What music
Woo!
genre will be at that one?
It's also Sinatra.
Okay.
A lot of this first phase is validating a bunch of the assumptions that we have about the concept,
Okay.
making sure things
Okay.
work, making sure the audience is satisfied, addressing concerns, answering the questions that we don't even know yet. So,
And yeah, it's kind of your trial. You have to see, is this going to work? Is it not going to work? The ticket system, the this,
Mhm.
the that, the security, the sound system,
mhm.
and all that jazz. Yeah, yeah,
Tommy's there. They're gonna be rushing the stage.
they
Gotta
are.
have security up front.
Yeah,
Show your.
yeah.
Anyway.
So it's kind of interesting too, because we can fit into venues that already exist in a lot of cases.
Yeah.
But in the case of the Atlanta History Center, and a lot of them actually, is they're usually like ballrooms
Mhm.
or event centers, just sort of upscale locations. And so we've designed a very interesting stage format. It's not really a stage that's just at the back of the room. It's actually a runway stage
Oh, okay.
for the purposes of both setting up the projectors in such a way that, because this is also the other thing, is you might think that you'll be able to see all the projectors, but we've actually found a way to visibly hide them.
Okay.
So it's almost as if you don't know where the light is coming from.
Mm.
But to that end, we have to do a different stage design that sort of extends out to the middle of the room. But it has a dual purpose of also being really engaging to have the performers go up and down the runway.
Okay.
The first time I saw a show like that, where the runway went up through the middle, you're talking like up through the middle of the audience.
Mhm.
And we went seeing Keith Urban.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that is perfect.
Mhm.
It's so many more people can, because
See.
you got the regular stage across the back, which we're all used to. But then running up the middle, now you have all these extra quote unquote front row seats that are
Exactly.
close to the front row.
Yeah.
And he did so, and I was like, one, he's a freaking phenomenal performer.
Mhm.
If you get a chance to see Keith Urban, sorry, go see him. Go see Tony work too, damn it, because he's an incredible performer as well. But it was like, this is a game changer when it comes to doing entertainment. Yep.
Taylor Swift has also done this. Michael
Yeah.
Bublé has done this.
Yeah, that's right. I've seen
Michael.
the video.
Yeah.
Like Taylor, she tried to mix it up. She could just stop.
Just stop.
They already gave her an award for performer of the decade.
Yeah. I
And we're
know.
not even through the was
whole
it decade or the century?
I'm not sure.
Something.
The first
Where's
25
our
years of
assistant over here?
the
Did
millennium.
will you do me? Oh, good. I'm glad you got it. You move my freaking camera, I'm gonna snap at you and get your attention. Would you do me a favor? What did Taylor Swift get the award for performer of the decade, or was it performer of the century? Like they jumped the gun big time. I think it's century actually.
We've
It's like we're only
digressed.
25 years in it. But anyway, that deal.
Topic.
Well, pull us back in.
I think what's the back of my head, the tactical part of my brain is saying, oh my God, you've got a special stage and the projectors and the this and the that. Like, have you had to buy a semi truck yet to get this stuff around? Like how if you have a backup band, I imagine that all that stuff's got to come. How does this work?
It's a lot of
How-
logistics going on.
It is, and to come up with a business plan for this, and then
Mhm.
the marketing plan for it, and all
Right.
the things. It's like
Decade.
how did you account for all of that?
It's a lot. As far as the super hard cost goods, a lot of it is subbed out. So
Okay.
there are vendors for stages. There's vendors. All of our musicians are subcontracted.
Mhm.
The talent in many cases is subcontracted too.
Okay, wait, hold on. Put a pin in that because I'll forget this part. The musicians are subcontracted. Most bands and performers, like they perform with a group
Hmm.
because that's their group.
Right.
How do you entrust your craft? Because you are the on the spotlight. We've never asked this all the times you've had you on the show. But like Tony Ward, he's the spotlight. Whoever else is the spotlight, and you're going to sub it out to local.
Hmm.
How does that work? And how comfortable are you with that? How do you get them on the same page? Everything you do, your nuances as a performer. I mean, how does that work? I'd be nervous.
Professional musicians don't get enough credit. And this is something that I learned growing up in Las Vegas because I had the same concerns. But when I first started performing, I had the same issue. Like, are they going to know the songs? They've never heard it. We never played together. But, oh, good, this is amazing. It's very amazing the ability for musicians who are top professionals to step into something and be able to read music that's prepared well.
Yeah.
So as long as you have what we call charts, or just basically individual parts for every musician that are perfectly designed to give just enough information that they can also apply what they know about the genre of jazz to it,
Okay.
it just sort of all comes together. And
Wow.
pro musicians just get it. So
Yeah.
like if you went to a session in Nashville, for example, a
Just
studio session,
Mhm.
a lot of those recordings that you hear are studio musicians who are walking into a studio for the first time, and in a lot of cases it's the first take.
Oh, wow.
It's crazy, and all they have to do is describe what chord they are in the scale to attribute the song structure, and they can just play it and apply their own style to it, and it sort of all comes together because they understand the genre.
So
Okay.
we're playing in 3/4 time and B minor.
Mhm.
You got this, and we're going to do this and
Right,
with
right.
this tempo. Or that could. Holy crap!
Wow.
And the musician community is very small, or around the world, frankly, but in the United States especially. So if somebody knows somebody, it's very much on a vouch for each other system.
Mhm.
And so if we know a professional in a given location, there's a list of, in Atlanta, for example, 5 or 10 bass players that could step into that role, or 5 or 10 trumpet players, and they can all, do the same job.
Okay, okay. So back to logistics.
Yes.
Thanks for interrupting
You just gave me the liquid death look.
me. Kidding.
Death look.
So you get it? Yeah. So, yeah. So the projectors, though, do you own them? Do you rent them? Do you source them? How's this working? Because this seems very bespoke
Mhm.
to me.
We own the projectors.
Mhm.
There's a specialty vendor in Asia that manufactures them that we've sourced for our needs, and we have basically a stockpile of them.
Mhm.
We can just sort of put them up as we need in specific locations for the venue.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
What?
You got them from where?
Asia.
Oh boy, here comes the tariff.
I know.
You're telling me about it.
You didn't plan on that.
They're about to get really expensive. I'm kind of thinking we should
Just
get
buy
it from
some.
here.
Yeah.
Buy
Yeah.
some now quickly.
Or the tickets are going to go up by 10, 20%.
Just to cover the,
No,
I'm gonna
don't
stop.
even, God, it's a slippery slope. So wait, okay, so many questions. What else do you do? I know you're a professional singer, but you have other things going on in addition to this venture?
I don't know how I could support anything else because this is taking.
I was gonna
No.
say, yeah, this is a lot.
He's being modest.
Mhm.
He is a professional hamster walker.
Oh, I'm a helioseismologist.
All right.
I study earthquakes on the sun. Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How often do you get up there?
That was a pickup line in college.
Got it,
So what are
yes.
you
Hold on,
majoring
Hold
in?
on 1 second. I'm gonna hand my microphone to Megan.
I have a question.
No.
Yes.
Well, I'm not coming to your first show.
Yes, you are, because
I'm not. I'm gonna be in Houston. I'm so bummed.
then come to Memphis for
I'm
the
going
second
to. I
show.
probably will. Yeah, June 28th.
Yes.
What, in starting this business, what were you most nervous about? Like, what's the most nerve-wracking thing? You're like, crap, I don't know if this is gonna work. Was there one thing? Are there many things?
The very complicated part about this that requires so much brain power is the marketing, because so much of it is psychological. Because in the past, when I've promoted my own shows, it's a very simple offer to purchase. So it's concert, this venue, this is what it is.
Mhm.
But this is a little bit different. That requires seeding into the minds of people, which Candlelight do very, very well, which is sort of throwing broad campaigns to sort of seed it in and understand that this is a brand versus a one-off experience.
Okay.
And that's very
It's
undefinable,
very
indefinable.
intangible.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very intangible. You're dealing with emotion.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I saw one of your ads on Instagram, and I scrolled past. Oh my god, that shit. Oh, it's Tommy's thing. And then I scrolled back up, and I liked it.
You liked it,
Yeah, I liked it.
but it was shit at first.
Yeah, that's like, oh, it's Tommy. That's his
Get the
thing.
shit off my feet.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. You just need to get this thing.
Get the shit off my
Like, that was
feet.
dumb.
No,
Great.
I have a que-
We're definitely not posting this on the website.
I thought it was shit, and then I scrolled back, and I thought it was good.
I give it a thumbs up.
Why did you think it was crap?
I loved it immediately. And I only said that because I was just messing with Tommy. It was fantastic. It looks beautiful. I think it's like what you mentioned about the marketing with candlelight. It's like, it just hits you. You stop and you look at it because it's the stars and it's the vibe and it's the everything about it, plus the music. It just gives off a vibe. I actually stopped. I was like, oh shoot. And that's why I texted you. I was like, this is awesome. I went to the website and I was like, how do I buy tickets? And I was like, crap, my cousin's it was a whole thing. But June 28th, Memphis.
Nice save. Love it.
It's the truth. It
Now
really is.
everybody's gonna want to go back and look at your
Yeah,
website.
but it's
now.
fantastic because
Thank
it
you.
hits you like it's like I haven't been in a planetarium since I was a kid, and that was
That's-
my favorite thing to do.
That's because you have to go on a date to do it,
You gotta
according to
come-
I
Lynn.
go on a date as a kid.
Go get a date and go to the planetarium.
Okay, you know what? No, I have been to the Griffith Observatory, and so I went in there. And I was on a date.
You've been there? Wow.
Yeah.
That's great.
I did that thing in La La Land. We just flew through there. It was great.
Oh.
Or you just go to the planetarium like I did and have illicit
Nerd.
drugs in your system.
Illicit drugs.
It was a lot of fun.
I'm gonna encourage that here too. For sure.
Everybody, we're handing out gummies at the door. So the marketing challenged you. Did you have somebody help you with the marketing, or are you just taking this on yourself?
I'm taking this by myself, but I am trying to consider all avenues for creative marketing because, again, this first 6-month period is just sort of validating a lot of the technical concerns, right?
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
we gotta just get it and handle people and handle customer service. But then broader, as we start to scale up, then having a professional marketing firm is going to be essential.
Right. Yeah. Somebody who gets entertainment, is in that entertainment space and understands how to pull those emotions out.
Right.
You have so many aspects, like Lynn said, there's so much, and you're trying to take care of it all.
hmm
You have the back office stuff to deal with. You're trying to project future profitability
hmm
accordingly, and that's why you have 1 or 2 shows, which you're still, these 2 shows, as you said, are to kind of test the market, see what happens at the show for the unknown,
hmm
the unexpected. I mean, Bigfoot could walk across the room and be like, I did not expect that to happen. Put him on that. Hopefully somebody got a screenshot of him.
Streaker.
Get
Get streaker going.
we're not doing that yet. We did that a couple episodes ago. I'm not
That's
singing
why I
that
threw
again.
it out there.
Oh, yes, they go. But anyway, and then but the whole other side of it is, I mean, ticketing, handling that in itself is a larger task than most people think. Same if you're selling a service or merchandise, you're like, wait a second, I'm going to somebody's website. I'm trusting them with my credit card or debit card information. Is this all locked down with SSL? Is it blah, 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 encrypted? How does this work? And what the hell happened? I mean,
Right. And that's why social proof and that broader marketing, campaign is so important, because you have to build that trust and that social proof because essentially what people are going to do is make a couple of decisions. They're either going to be a person who's just going to take the chance and be like, this looks cool, I'm going to buy the tickets right now. Or they're going to save it and then Google it and then look on the Facebook, see the reviews, understand if it's in the news, and then they can make a purchasing decision. And so, it's bolstering the whole brand is going to be a big part of that. And right now we're using Eventbrite, which isn't really a long-term strategy that we think is good, but it's perfect for just testing the market.
It's trustworthy.
It's
I
true.
know.
Yeah,
It's not
exactly.
like,
That's exactly
hey,
right.
guess what? Do me a favor, put in your payment information. And the day of the show, we're going to drop a pin at the location and you
You
just
can
show up.
Exactly.
I hate that. Oh,
Hold on.
God.
Exactly.
Maybe that's another question. Why didn't you just tell me? I would have brought a damn microphone in for
You need to be like Horseshack.
All right.
Oh.
Horseshack, welcome back, Kata.
Yeah, welcome back, Kata.
I'm going to go get a microphone. and
Yeah.
use this.
It's almost over. You don't need them. I'll just keep this one. You're done. Bye, Darren. This is my podcast now.
Kicked out of his own.
So I'm going to
podcast.
leave now. I'm going to go swirl my cucumber. It's purpleless.
Oh, my God.
Oh, man.
Oh, boy.
Okay, question.
Mhm.
Beaver, the
Yeah.
parent company, right, has recently reached a valuation of $1.8 billion.
Mhm.
Where do you see like Constellation Concerts, what's your dream? Like, how far do you want to take it? How big do you want to grow it? Are you planning on fundraising, bootstrapping? Tell me all the things.
I'm really excited that you brought that up because it's the part of the business that is sort of hidden. Where if you think about a company like Fever, you think about a company like Ticketmaster or Live Nation, you think on their face that they are just a ticketing platform and they just produce shows, and I just use Ticketmaster to select seats to go see a Michael Bublé show, and it's just a service. But the reason that those companies are so valuable is because they're really data collection companies in disguise as ticketing companies. And the real value in having millions of people use your service and come through your marketing funnel is worth 100 times more than the actual face value of a ticketing fee or selling tickets for revenue. So while I am so passionate about the creative design of Constellation Concerts and the origin of that, and I think that that's such a cool concept that people will attach to, the real value in the company is that it is essentially a gigantic marketing funnel where through different genres, through different shows, through different concepts, different locations, all of the customer data is extremely valuable. So if you can say that somebody that sees a Sinatra show and has the financial means to spend $200 on tickets or something, you can categorize that into data that is super valuable. And then they're warm leads, right? For somebody that, if we were to exit the company, could be a huge marketing funnel for their products and services. And they have a list of qualified leads through this channel. It's basically just a channel for marketing. And that's why Fever has achieved such greatness, because Candlelight is a gigantic lead generator for Fever. And so it's not, even though they make hundreds of millions of dollars producing Candlelight all around the country, or all around the world, just selling tickets, the real value is that they have all of that customer data. And that's why they're so valuable.
That is a really good perspective. Because yeah, where do you get your leads, right? Facebook can take you so far, or Instagram can only take you so far, but yeah.
And if you're in the ecosystem, that's why Fever is especially, because they have their own ticketing platform.
Yeah.
So you have to, and just like Ticketmaster, you have to make a Ticketmaster account. You have to make a Fever account, and then they have your name, your email, your zip code. They know where you bought tickets, and they know what your interests are just based on the artist or the show that you went to.
Yeah.
Because you can extrapolate that if you went to a Luke Bryan concert, you probably live in America, even if they don't know for sure. And you would be interested in those shows in the future. So you have warm leads and all that customer data. That's why they're so valuable.
Yeah. I mean, I would also venture to guess that they're sophisticated enough, even if they don't have your home address, just by the zip code, to figure out kind of what the general income level is of that area, and say, well, let's serve them up some Sphere tickets at $600 a pop, because we pay that.
Exactly.
Yeah. So that is a very valuable funnel of potential customers.
Yeah.
Fascinating.
So fundraising.
Yes.
Do you plan to fundraise?
I think so. It's very much a self-sustaining business model as I projected it out now as we sit here today. But if a lot of the concerns here are probably natural in that, who am I? Where we have Live Nations, we have AEGs that can just dump billions of dollars on something and say, let's just go steal this idea. So how can you scale up as fast as possible to make it known in a particular area faster than they can replicate your idea? So maybe that's a course for venture capital or something, but I think right now self-sustaining is the plan.
I love it.
One quick question about that. When you mentioned fundraising, my mind went to nonprofits. Do you have any intention of giving, like, for every ticket bought, to go to a certain nonprofit?
I think that would be really nice. And that's a really good idea.
Like maybe helping musicians. I know there's nonprofits for musicians,
or to the observatory in Maui. Just
something like that, or wherever. What? To vegans? Is that what you're saying? Watermelon eaters of the world? Is that what? But, or maybe it's something more localized as far as, hey, this area. We're going to Memphis, we're going here. Here's a local nonprofit. Every ticket sold, $1 is going to go to this local nonprofit to help this, that, or the other thing.
I think that's a great idea. I think music is a great, Music Cares, the Grammy Foundation has an amazing music foundation, but also, scientific scholarship things too for, it's very much a space-based kind of a, astronomical thing. So I think that maybe there's something there too.
10 cents goes to something incredible like perspective. Oh, okay.
That's what I was gonna say earlier, and then I backed away from the mic.
I get it. How the hell do you sleep at night with this? And this
He
is
does not.
like a Lynn question. Like, well, he's a performer, so he
He
sleeps
never
during the
slept at
day.
night.
They sleep during the daytime too. He's a performer. But how do you sleep at night? I mean, this is a lot of shit you're taking on at one time.
It's kind of wild because I never experienced this before, but I basically don't sleep that much anymore because I'll set a schedule and I'll wake up at 3 a.m. and say, oh my God, I have to do this right now. And I just can't stop working. So I'll start at 10 and then it'll be midnight. And I'm like, why stop? Because I can still keep going.
Yeah.
And it's
Wow.
just an endless train.
The brain of an entrepreneur, man. Think about it.
I
So I
know.
think you
I,
haven't burned out yet.
yeah.
No, but I'm, maybe getting close.
You're
Watch
young.
out.
You're
You're
young.
right.
He doesn't look, he's got great complexion, doesn't
I know.
he?
I can feel it around the corner.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
You
Yes.
need to take a break. Because
Yeah.
that happened to me. And then I was like depressed and I didn't do anything for a month. And it
Really?
was bad. And I should have just taken a break.
Would
And
it-
people told me that and I didn't do it. And then
Yes.
that happened.
Lots of us told you that, didn't we? How do you release it right now? Because there is it. Do you have a stress release daily or weekly or whatever? I mean, what meditation, working out, rock climbing? I know you do that. Anything else, or just singing at the top of your lungs and something that you don't normally sing? Like maybe a little air supply. You're rocking on
Oh God, no.
So
It's definitely not rock.
it's definitely not rock climbing.
Well,
We've been trying to all go rock climbing for like the better part of 2 months. So
Mm.
2 months? Probably like 12 months.
Indoor or out, is that indoor or outdoor?
well, the one here is indoor, right?
What's the other thing that you do when you put the pad and you're actually on
Bouldering?
Bouldering.
Mhm.
Maybe you should try bouldering.
Hmm.
No,
I mean, drinking is an option always, of course.
Oh,
No.
don't
Working
put
out,
that.
you work out. That's a good stress reliever.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I have a pretty decent schedule, but the problem is I'll do my schedule for the day and then I'll try and relax and watch TV or something,
Mm.
and I'll just think of the 100 things that I have to do and then just start working again.
Yeah.
And then you do schedule time to crawl into the corner and cry for a little bit, right? It happens.
Yeah,
How do you're close to your mom.
I am.
When you proposed this idea to her, did she say, you're out of your damn mind? Or was she like, I know you can do it? Or was she somewhere in the middle?
She thought it was a really good idea. She loved it. My mom's a business person.
Mm.
So I've been around business my entire life. She worked for a major bank as a technology executive. So I've always sort of been immersed in like the entrepreneurial spirit, I guess.
Yeah.
And so her first question to me was, but what about the artist things that you're doing? And I said, I don't really see how they conflict. And what it actually made me realize was I've been doing this for over a decade, like singing and performing. But I realized that as much as I love performing and being a performer and connecting to that, I love the business side so much more. And I thought about all the different moments as a performer where I was like doing a wedding client or something or setting up a concert. I was more excited about the contract. I was more excited about the deal terms, managing cash flow, not the actual performing part. Even though I loved that part,
Yeah.
setting up everything behind the scenes is so much more fun.
Is this why actors, actresses, performers, sometimes they're very popular for a very short period of time, and then you find out that they're kind of behind the scenes doing the producing and you know, running the business and doing a really good job of that. And they realize, oh, well, I have this artistic talent, but
Right.
this feeds me more behind the scenes and taking care of business than the singing.
There's so many parallels too, because for actors especially, they're just building a character in the same way you build a business. And so they're using their skills to think about the character motivation, think about how they're going to deliver a line. And in a lot of ways, it's just similar to building a show or a TV show or a
Okay.
concept. And so it makes a lot of sense.
Ooh, okay, so as a performer, you get that interaction with the audience. That is like instantaneous. Some people live for that.
There's no better drug in the world.
Right, I know, and that's why a lot of people on screen switch to going to stage. It's like I get that reaction every night.
Immediate, yeah.
Get that immediate feed instead of, yeah,
I
did
don't
this
know,
film.
yeah,
I have no
yeah.
idea. The only time I get to get any feedback is if I sneak into the theater and watch my show or opening night and boom, boom, boom. Does it feed you that much versus, as you said, being behind the scenes? And I know the first couple of shows you're doing as a test as the performer for that evening, but do you feel yourself being able to, I'm not going to say fade into the background, but there's no other way to describe it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you're going to be the Wizard of Oz behind there, pulling all the levers and everything else, inspiring and promoting other talent to be out there to feed their needs to get that rush.
It's not about me for sure. And I can separate those things, even though I enjoy basically what is the athletic sport of performing live, because it really is. And then, you know, testing that back and forth, I can separate that from knowing that, and this is sort of where it's difficult with the marketing too, is how do you separate those two things, which are very different, the actual music and the stars together? They're very different, and I can separate those things. So I don't see them as coexisting. I just see myself as the vessel today to make it happen.
Okay. I get it. Yeah.
Wow. That's heavy. That's a lot.
We asked about your mom. Now, this supposed girlfriend that you have.
What?
Uh,
Supposed it all
wow.
of a sudden?
It's like a
Because I-
make-believe friend.
Oh,
Yeah.
there's a great
So-
episode about this.
Yeah.
So, and up north, it was always, oh yeah, your girlfriend from Canada.
Yeah.
They always lived in Canada.
I don't talk to her because it's an international call.
I can't make Canada, my call, it's too expensive. I'm
And she can't come across the border because she doesn't have a passport.
back on the landlines. But anyway, when you, we asked her about your mom, when you talked to Megan about this and said, hey, I got this idea, what did she think?
It's kind of crazy because Megan is an astrophysicist.
Not to say,
What?
yes,
What?
yes. This is kind of a half-loaded question that I'm asking, but it's truthful. I'm wondering what she thought about, you know, you going forward with this as opposed to sticking with your career. And the fact that you're
By the
dealing with
way-
constellations and
She's an
she's an astrophysicist.
Yeah.
She loved the idea, and she had the same concerns that, well, you know, is this what you want to do? It sounds like it's really a great idea. It's passionate. Just, you know, it's hard to do both at the same time, obviously.
And when you sleep till 2 in the afternoon.
It's been a challenge, but it's fascinating because this is quite literally what she does for a living. She designs optics and lasers and you know, things to look at the sky for you know, Department of Defense and stuff. And so in a lot of ways she understands the technology. So I asked her, like, explain to me how this works, or what should I do for this? And she can give me this very complicated, she'll give me the math, and I'm like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
Like, please just tell me.
Which way? Yeah, just point. Just
I know
point.
you,
Yeah.
you have juice angle of this,
Yeah, yeah.
X, Y, and wait, we went to a Z axis for what reason? I
Does
don't care.
she mansplain it to you?
I guess so, yeah. I guess so, maybe a little bit, yeah. So
Wow.
yeah, but she loved it, and she's a great resource actually, because I'll have a question about optics in the glass, and she'll be able to explain what's happening.
the refraction rate and
Wow.
everything like that. And,
Cool.
I mean, I'll tell you what, if you want to turn on an astrophysicist,
She had this amazing idea. It was truly remarkable because we had a problem with the projectors where the placement is really difficult.
Mm.
And so like you have to balance like not blocking audience sightlines, but also getting enough spread that it's wide enough.
Yeah.
And she was like, you should just use a mirror
Mm.
and put it behind the audience
Yeah.
because the projection, the light is just going to hit the mirror and
project it
scatter,
back. Yeah.
and it's genius. And
That's so simple.
little stuff like
for
that.
some folks.
Yeah. It would be for you.
And the other thing is, it's really cheap because you use child labor to hold that mirror.
Ah,
Just,
okay.
There's children information.
might as well make the best drivers in the world. So, God,
This is not on brand.
Oh, sorry. It's on brand for us, for Darren and I.
and Megan.
Yeah,
She's
true.
our being female lead driver.
Oh, I have a story on that later.
Anyway, we talked about it.
Okay, what does the next 5 years look like?
I don't even know what tomorrow looks like. Oh my gosh. The next 5 years, I think there's a couple different things that can happen. One, it's built up to a point where it could be sold, or something that could be scaled in the same way that Candlelight scales as an immersive experience. In so many different places, maybe even internationally. But I think to build out the US is going to take at least 24 to 36 months.
So I have a question. If you're going international, could I be your like R&D person and go scope out locations internationally? I just renewed my passport, so I'm good.
Yes.
Yes.
What do you want? Do you want to sell it?
I don't know. I think yes. I don't know because I don't even know what it is yet, really. I just have this plan. I've developed a plan for the next 24 months, but again, we don't know what's going to happen between now and then. So it could be a situation that it's a sustainable business that's great and it's fun to operate and it's self-sustaining, or maybe it's, like I said before, it's a big data collection machine that could be sold, to somebody that could operate it there.
You just use the word data collection machine, and that is going to scare the pants off a lot of people because people don't want to have their data collected that is going to, you're collecting all this data, but are you going to keep it within the scope of Constellation Concerts, or do you plan to put it out there on the market for other people to buy that information?
So there's very strict federal trade commission regulation laws about data, obviously. That's not the goal. The goal is simply that the brand exists on its own and it has its own data, just from interacting with people. There's a implied trust when two people transact together, a company, that you trust them with your information. And we can extrapolate just based on what we think. You're in Atlanta, you like the Sinatra show. This is, what you're willing to, and we can compile that into just reasonable assumptions for ourselves. Atlanta can support another Sinatra show, for this market size, basically. And that's really, once it exists just in its own bubble, the data lives in that bubble. And then if it's sold, somebody can use it as they please.
I have been able to go to so many concerts that I otherwise would not have known were even happening because of this. I'm just like, oh, thank goodness. Take your master as my info. They know what I like. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to 3 of these shows. So, no, it sounds bad. It sounds big, bad, and scary, but I'm going to see James Taylor this fall, and I never would have otherwise.
On some level, it is too, though. It's kind of crazy. If you go and look at your profile on Google, just the machine learning that these big companies have applied just based on the content you watch. They know everything about you without you even saying it.
That is why I carry 2 phones. Separation of church and state. Personal phone, work phone. They all need to know what I'm doing on my personal time and where I'm going. So
That's good. I thought maybe the Pope was contacting you when you said that, church
the
and
Pope.
state.
Oh, no, you're not him.
So I'll be curious. I'm going to say these words right now because we're going to go planning to go see a show in August,
Mhm.
taking Linda to the New York State Fair.
Oh, yes, yeah.
Got to see the butter sculpture,
Mhm.
but we're gonna go see either Cheap Trick or Sister Hazel.
Hmm.
So let's see how much
They know about
AI
it.
is listening.
Yeah.
Yeah, sitting my feet. Yeah, it's like she's seen Sister Hazel. I know she loves them, but
Mhm.
Cheap Trick, come on.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys, you're young.
I know.
Back in our day,
Back in the day.
but it's like, let's go.
Yeah.
You have a question, Megan?
I do have a question.
We should move that camera back so you're on the screen again.
My
No, it's okay. Don't
watermelon?
worry
Your
about it.
watermelon?
Put the watermelon.
Okay. Doing this business versus being strictly a performer, which is also a business, but this is a different business. What do you love? What's your favorite part about what you're doing now versus what you used to do?
I love being tactically involved behind the scenes. When I was a performer, you work through, if you're doing a show, for example, you have to work with a performer, a promoter, an agent, or a manager, and they're pulling all these things behind the scenes you don't really have control over. And for whatever reason, I can very easily see the bigger picture of what each of these small decisions add up to make. And I love being able to control that whole apparatus because I know exactly how to get to an end. And as a performer, you can't really do that. You have to sort of hand it to somebody else. And I love the creative aspect of designing the business, but also designing the creative part of the business.
Hmm. Interesting.
I want some advice for other entrepreneurs. So you're burning the candle at both ends. You're not sleeping. You're working all the time. What advice, since you've been doing this over the last 12 months, what have you learned? What would you tell somebody else that's looking to start a business?
I don't know that I'm qualified to answer that.
Yeah, you are. You've learned something in 12 months. Where if somebody has never, they're like, oh, I have this idea for a business.
Where have you, okay,
What do you
let's
do?
put this one. Where you've had the conceptions of where you're going with the roadmap initially, and where have you already pivoted? Is that a better way to phrase it? I don't want to steal your question, but it might
It's
be
okay.
easier to
It's
answer.
fine. This is fine.
I suppose it's sort of the
Get your own
It's fine.
podcast.
It's fine.
Maybe someday, well.
You're fired.
I think having a plan for immediate cash flow is really smart because if you can't validate the profitability of a company very quickly, you're just going to be spinning your wheels until you can figure out how to monetize your idea. And if that answer just continues to be, I'm going to pour my own cash onto it, then that turns into something really, really scary quick if you don't have a plan.
Well, hold on, because some folks don't want investors because they want to keep it all to themselves.
Mhm.
And they're afraid to give up any ownership or whatever because it's like, this is mine,
Mhm.
all mine. I don't want to do this. So
Right.
what separates you from that? Why are you willing to trust somebody else to give you money
Right.
to help accelerate your business?
I think that that's also a lesson that I'm still learning myself, which is that I am not the end all be all and I don't know everything. And so the perspective of having partners and people who can join you on that is invaluable, you know? And then if everybody is aligned, then that's a great business, you know? It's as much as I love to pull all the levers, it doesn't make sense. That's not scalable, you know? It's like key man risk. You can't scale just one person.
Insert song from Wicked. Hold all the levers.
Oh, I don't pay attention to that song.
You haven't? No?
No.
You didn't see the new Wicked? Okay. Did that answer enough for your question? Or do you want to?
Yes.
No, hammer home. Just ask more.
Ah,
Okay, never mind. Just messing with you. I
She's
didn't
getting
even
verklempt.
interject on your question on that. I just
well,
thought it would
I'm
be
very
easier.
offended and we're probably no longer friends. So
That means you just blocked me on social media. That's all. Boy.
What do you guys think is the problem that I'm not asking? What do you think is the concern? Like, if you think about the idea, you're like, I don't really get how that's going to work.
You don't get to ask
I
questions.
know,
I got news for you. You're the damn guest. We're the host. You don't ask us a damn
No,
thing. Just shut up and answer.
it's
the
gonna
question.
work. I mean, I can totally envision it. What I worried about for your sake is the day of the customer service issues that may crop up the day of.
Mhm.
The parking sucked. You gotta give me some money back if the parking was horrible, or I don't like.
Who's
my
making the
food.
cocktails?
Oh yeah. Who's
Megan.
gonna get cocktails watered down? And like the music, like, and you're singing on the debut, and like, how in the world do you put up a hang on, hang your thing.
He likes to do this halfway through other people's
Yeah.
questions.
How do you block that out while you're trying to concentrate on the singing? That's what I'm worried about for you. I feel like I should volunteer and be up there like bouncer, like the bouncer, like everybody, cool your jets. All right, what?
This is a preempt to what you asked him. Remember the question. Should Tony perform somewhere for somebody else?
Yeah,
He did not control the show.
yeah.
And guests came up to him afterwards and said, that's it? He only performed for an hour?
Oh, really?
What that? And he goes, I'm just in.
Oh.
Yeah,
Go ahead. It's,
Yeah.
Yeah, that did happen. That's true. At the Voldemort thing.
The Baltimore thing.
So I have built the plan for the first show and the receivable feature to have myself. Basically, by the time I get there, I'm just going to be performer.
Okay.
There's a production supervisor, there's ushers, there's ticket takers.
Oh.
So like I can't, it's literally impossible. I couldn't do everything. I can't run the merch table and then also go sing in 10 minutes.
Right. Okay.
So,
All right. I feel better now.
But yeah, it could be a real problem.
Yeah.
Walk up on stage and then my drink's not cold enough. I don't even want to make it.
Fire the bartender.
He's got his own writer that he's written for his own shows. It's like, I need only green M&Ms. I need this hot chicken. What the hell? How come I don't have what I asked for in my writer? Let me talk to the owner of the company. Oh wait, shit, that's me.
I'm very like specifically designing everything to be so that it's not reliant on like I'll say to myself like, oh, I can do that, or I can just take care of that. I can't. That doesn't work because you can't hand it to somebody who's not scalable.
Yeah.
So like I'm being very intentional about not having myself do everything because it doesn't work.
Yeah, no, it doesn't. You're not a unicorn. You got to focus on the things that you're good at. Yeah, and delegate everything else, like the bartender.
Apparently, I'm a unicorn. That's just what I am.
You do everything.
You are.
That's what I'm getting out of it.
Except your unicorn runs about 20 minutes behind schedule.
Only on bartending nights. Oh wait, it's not a bartending night. It's Thursday.
Yeah. It's not a
I
regular
wasn't talking about Thursday. I'm talking about every Wednesday that we normally do
What
the
happens on
podcast.
Wednesday?
Yeah, exactly.
God.
Oh, goodness. We're
Well, what is the name again of your company?
Constellation Concerts,
Constellation Concerts, and your debut is
May 23rd,
May 23rd at the Atlanta History.
Atlanta History Center.
Your second show is when?
Memphis at the Memphis Museum of Science and History.
Nice.
And then, don't you have a third one that may be coming up? Where's that?
Austin, Texas, in Orlando, Florida.
Mhm.
Oh, third
Okay.
and fourth. Wait.
Yeah, right.
Oh,
Right. And so if people are interested, should they go to your website?
Mhm.
What's the website?
ConstellationConcerts.com.
Constellationconcerts.com. Okay, anything else everybody needs to know?
I think that's it. Yeah.
Okay,
damn.
all right.
Social media handles.
Constellation Concerts.
I knew
It makes sense, yeah, it makes sense.
Lots of sense.
Okay, good.
I mean, I gotta tell you what. Thank you. Hold on. We'll get Megan. Thank you for the beverages this evening. Thank you for bringing your watermelon into the studio and
Bring
correcting.
my melons anytime into the studio.
There's
Just like
something
the
about
cucumber.
that.
Yeah.
Hey, I may be old, but I still got it.
You're the only one. Yeah. Anyway, so there's that. Nice
You're welcome.
haircut, by the way.
Thanks.
I'm welcome.
I know a guy. That's good haircut.
Oh man.
But thank you for the beverages as always. And, perspective, you've been you've been a supporter of the show. We appreciate that all along. No, I'm not firing you, damn it.
Wait, it says nice things, like what's coming next?
Every week she does show up, she's like, I wish you'd just fire me as a sponsor, but I just want to say thank you. We like having you in the studio. We like it when you're behind the microphone helping out and interacting with our guests. So I just want to give you that a little kudos.
Thank you.
There's nothing else.
I'm not grateful.
I know. I'm gonna set your house on fire on Saturday.
I'm just, she's Louise. So no, I'm giving kudos to the two people who sit in Lynn's seat when the
When I'm
week she
gone,
can't make it, and they are both Lynn and Tommy. Tommy, thank you for that as well. I truly appreciate it. That's all I'm saying. Oh, geez,
And I appreciate it too.
don't read into it more.
It allows me
It's-
to go to that other country that I have to go to.
But it's not easy being behind the mic
Yeah.
alone talking to a guest. I can
Yeah,
do
it
it,
is.
but it's much better when I have fabulous co-hosts who step
Mm-hmm.
in and can pick up when I just fucking screw up. Okay? Or can't get a thought across, right? And
Or
then-
need to go to the
and
bathroom.
then, well, thank you
Yeah.
for that too. So I'm just giving you little things.
Thank you.
You've been with us a long time and we
My pleasure.
appreciate it. Tommy, thanks for being a co-host.
Thank you.
Thanks for being a guest.
Yes.
Not
Good
just
luck.
once, but like,
Thank you for having me.
like 3 times as a guest.
Mhm.
Thank you.
I think you have it more than anybody else. This is like an SNL thing.
I know.
Wait,
I
I only
gotta-
have 2. I
I
need a
know.
3rd one.
No, not yet.
Oh, until I tell you.
You gotta earn
Good
it.
news.
You gotta earn it. All right. Well,
Okay.
this is almost like, SNL hit their 50th.
Yeah.
So they're giving people the robes.
The robes,
Well,
yeah.
I think you're into robe mode now.
Maybe so.
Yes, 3 times. We just gotta, we have to have you back within a year to know what the hell's going on with Constellation
Right.
Concerts.
I
This,
agree. I agree.
this thing is galactic.
It's been waiting a
It's out of this world. It's out of
There's
this
so many
This world.
times. Yes.
We will, anything else you want to say to our listeners before we sign off?
I don't think so. May 23rd, Lancaster Center.
Okay.
All
Be
right,
there.
folks. Tell you what, Lynn,
Darren, see you next week. Yay!
Nice.
Oh my God, that was like one of our better podcasts.